Hi, it's me, Creative Katie, Karen Burchell. Welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. Follow me on all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, and Pinterest. Just do a search there for Creative Katie and you will find me. If you want to support my channel, you can shop through my Amazon influencer links or make a direct donation through my PayPal link. Both links can be found in the description box below. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click on the bell, and select the option to be notified as soon as I upload a new video. You won't miss any that way. Today we have a mixed media art journal tutorial. Enjoy! Hi everybody, Creative Katie, Karen Burchell, and I have these 4x4 magnet canvas boards, which I absolutely love. You've seen me create on them again, but today I am going to use my Crafters Workshop stencils here. These are the cookie stencils, and I have TCW 5013, TCW 5004, the stars, TCW 5021, I'm loving that one, and TCW 5018. And I'm also going to play with their modeling pastes. I've had their light and fluffy modeling paste, which I love, so I'm curious to see this nice and thick modeling paste, how it works, and black modeling paste, which I'm absolutely loving with that. So 2 of them I'm going to do with the black, and 2 of them I'm going to do with the white, I do believe. So I am going to put that on here. And I want that kind of on the corner. Now this is quite a bit thicker than the light and fluffy. I just want some texture in this. And I'm putting it on first with the white because I plan on colorizing the white. So I'm not pressing down as much as being very careful not to press down because I don't want it to bleed in. So there we have it, and I'm just going to remove it from where I don't want it. And it actually got quite clean. It's very nice to use. And I'm thinking that's going to be a beautiful texturized. I put it on quite thick. And I'm just going to scrape this off. And I'm just going to use my Murphy's Oil soap and detergent mixture here to quickly wash the stencils. You could drop them in a tub of water, but modeling paste or gel medium, the light and fluffy, shimmery goodness, all of those, whatever brand you have, you gotta clean your stencils first. So we have that one, and then I have this star one. And I don't know how I want to position this per se, but I'm gonna try to put it there. And I tend to put my modeling paste on where there's the solid part of the stencil, and then I bring it to where the holes are. And this one I'm going to go through the whole thing. I am going to be gluing things on. sentiment. I'm not pressing, I'm smoothing, but very light pressure here. And again, just remove it off the side here. Clean it up. Sometimes your fingers are your best friends. Okay, and I'm going to clean the stencil and we'll be back with the black. So with the black ones, since I'm not going to have to colorize it and I want them to stay black, I'm going to put the color on first. So I'm going to use the raspberry and the kale smoothie. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my craft mat. Just because it's heavy body and I really want it to flow a little bit more than that, I'm going to put the raspberry, these are simple projects. They're not complex, but they're a good way to practice different techniques. And I'm trying to get the edges here. It's a little not the color scheme that I was hoping for. But I'm just going to keep playing till I get something I am liking. I'm loving the purple that those two colors make together. Okay, I'm thinking that's an okay color combination in there. So we're just going to clean up a little bit and dry this. Okay, and this one, I'm just going to put, I just want the pink on here, and I'm just gonna put it, I think I want the pink and the black.
Okay, so this is TCW 5013, and I love, love, love this pattern. And this size works so well with the 4x4s. It would work well with iCads, ATCs. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to use the black modeling paste. Oof. And it's the same consistency as the white. And I'm trying really hard, not to push down. Sometimes you want to get so much and you scrape, and that's when I find I make a mess. And this is just perfectly parallel to the stencil, to the substrate. Now a lot of this is going to get scraped off because the holes are fairly small. But look how beautiful that is. Woo. Right when I saw that, I thought, that is all about like the black and the pink, I think is going to, oops. Okay. Kind of made a mess on the side, but that's okay. So I'm going to clean the stencil. I just thought of something as I'm cleaning the stencil, what you could do if you wanted to when you're cleaning the stencil, and I already kind of did, so I'm just going to wipe this. You can have, if you have a page, whether it has color or not, you can just take it and just push it through and kind of clean the modeling paste off the stencil onto whatever page that you have. So this is a made journal that I am working on. You'll see a video on that. So I have all these colored papers, so I can just add a little bit of stenciling to that. And at the same time, I'm cleaning my stencils with the modeling paste. And now it's dry. So I don't want to put these dry bits back in the jar, right? So you kind of have to watch that. You don't want to contaminate.
So I'm using the black modeling paste again here with this stencil. So I'm just setting it in the corner. I think that'll look nice. And with the black modeling paste, it's so incredibly nice to get that stark black and bold contrast with the colorful background. Loving the consistency of this modeling paste, goes on really easily. There's no problem. It doesn't go underneath the stencil. I made a bit of a mess, and I've learned that sometimes it's better to just leave it. I know I'm going to be adding some collage items, so I'm not too worried. Here I'm just using up the leftover modeling paste by putting it on some colored journal pages that I have kind of on the go. This is from my disc binding Reclaiming My Happy Planner video that you can check in my playlist. It's one of my more recent videos. And I'm just using up whatever's left on the stencil, pushing it through. And you can put that on just white paper too, that you can then slowly evolve an art journal page. Always with modeling paste, you need to clean the stencil afterwards. So I'm using the blueberry pie, the um, the black and the Diox purple, and I'm mixing these together and I'm getting a nice dark navy. I have since learned that if you use a dark purple, like this grape jelly or dioxazine purple, and phthalo green, that will make a absolutely luscious navy. And since that's a color that I've been wanting to get and having a hard time finding a dark enough navy, I'm just thrilled with that mixing tip that I got from a fellow artist. So I'm mixing the paint mostly as I apply it on the canvas here. And I find by doing that you get subtle differences and interest to your background. So even though it's all one color, you've got some lights and darks and some interest. And because I'm planning on selling these, I am painting the backgrounds. You could skip this step if it's not important to you. And any paint or anything that I get on the magnetic part, I can just spray and rub off with my Murphy's oil soap, which I just showed you there. So the modeling paste dries quite nicely. Loving the consistency of both the black and the white. Here I'm mixing the yellow with the orange TCW paint and adding some white. I want to get more of that corally kind of look. And then I'm adding some raspberry pie because I want, I guess, a little on the blush side. But play around with your paints and mix them and get whatever colors you want. Try a little bit on the side and see. You don't need to have a tube of every color. If it's a color you use lots, absolutely, you want to get a tube of it or a container of it. But if it's not, then you can totally get designer colors by mixing the paint. Loving how the texture shows up, but I'm going to be adding some steps later on to bring out that texture even more. So here I put the stencil back on and I'm using the Artist Loft metallic cobalt blue teal, and put the color on top of those stars using the stencil. And I'm just edging it with that metallic color as well. I want this to look like a starry night. Spraying it with the Murphy's oil soap and setting it aside till I have time to clean it. It just makes the cleanup a little bit easier and allows me to use these makeup sponges repeatedly. So I'm putting the Julie Nutting doll that I plan on using on there, and I'm doing that so that I see what colors might be in the dress, what color her hair is, so that I can bring that out or tie it into the background. Because her hair is dark here, I'm just adding some darker colors by rubbing the paint with the pad of my fleshy part of my finger on top of that texture. And you can see how it just brings the texture out, just makes it pop. Get too much, just take a baby wipe, wipe it off. You have some playtime because underneath it's all acrylic, meaning it's all permanent, and wet acrylic does give you some time to be able to remove it. And just edging it with the black here as well. I'm kind of going for the grunge look. I think I may have cleaned that up off camera, but I really don't know. And I'm fighting that urge to be so pristine and neat. So on this one, again, I'm going to pick the Julie Nutting doll that I have, and she's wearing some pink, and I want to tie the pink in to the background. So I decide I'm just going to splatter. Quick, easy way to add a color to make your background work with what your focal point is. When I splatter with more than one color on the same background, I do let it dry in between, because if it mixes when it's wet, sometimes you don't get exactly what you're looking for. Now in this video, I'm doing 4 similar pieces. But when I started art journaling and I would try to do 2 or 3 ATCs at the same time, I found that I got overwhelmed and it really made the process harder. So if that's you, then just back off. Don't do the assembly line thing. Do one at a time and, feel good about what you're doing. Just edging all of these, loving these backgrounds. The texture from the stenciling just adds a little bit of something something to every single one of them. And I'm just taking pictures just to see what it looks like through the camera's lens. And that's just a good trick. I have some options. I pulled out several options. And these Julie Nutting dolls I have in an envelope, in a file folder in my cabinet. And when I do a stash building session, I create them. And I'll put a link to that video so you can see how I do my Julie Nutting dolls. Now I'm just applying them with the gel medium. This is TCW Gel Medium Matte Finish. They also have a gloss finish. And I'm putting it underneath, on the back of the Julie Nutting doll, and then on top. But because there's texture there, I have to push it down a little bit with the paintbrush just to make sure that everything adheres properly. I will be varnishing these with polycrylic, Minwax polycrylic. So now I have a bunch of feet from these Julie Nutting dolls. A friend of mine suggested that I should just make a interesting art journal page with all these legs. I think I just threw them back in the envelope, or the file folder. So you never know. So these are coffee sayings that I found and played around with some fonts. And I have some exciting news, that because people have asked about the sentiments that I have and if they can buy them, I've decided that I am going to create some digital downloads that people will be able to purchase. So this pack, the coffee sayings, the ones that you see here, plus a full page of other ones, I'm not sure how many they are altogether, as well as my tea um, sentiments, will all be available. There's 4 sheets in that digital download. Will all be available. Just email me and I will give you the details on that. I'm kind of excited about this venture. I know that some people don't have, a printer, or don't have the means or knowledge to how to pick sentiments or download new sentiments or whatever. And people have asked, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to provide that. I'm hoping to keep the prices quite reasonable and just encourage you to, have those sentiments. It's Once you get the digital download, you can print it off on whatever paper you like, tissue paper or deli paper, tracing paper, cardstock, etc. And it can be used on art journal page, ATCs, as well as cards. So this is a coffee and tea pack. I will also include my Sassy Sayings if you want to check out that video. I have a whole collection of those sayings, as well as large font sayings that are perfect for art journal pages. But if you email me, I can give you a list of what is all available and how you can go about purchasing those things. Using the fine line bottle, I'm just outlining the sentiments. I just like how this looks. I'm also going around the canvas just to edge it. It just finishes it off in my mind. It's all those little details. Using some gold here because it ties in with her hair and the splatter that I have on there. And the black is already there with the modeling paste. And this one, the black would not show up. And I didn't think the white would look very good, but the gold looks awesome in this night sky. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below. Send me an email if you're interested in these sentiments or others. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.